Hello everyone, my name is Jake Jackson. Today I'll be doing my disability project presentation for HPR 2120. Today we'll be discussing Down syndrome, so I hope you guys learn a little bit. I hope you enjoy. So what is Down syndrome? That's what we're going to start today. In every cell there's a nucleus where genetic material is stored in the genes. These genes carry the codes responsible for all of our traits, and they're grouped in structures called chromosomes. We all know that. Typically the nucleus of each cell contains 23 pairs of these chromosomes, half of which come from your mother, the other half come from your father. Now, Down syndrome occurs when an individual has a full or partial extra copy of the 21st chromosome. So this can occur in all ethnic and economic groups. The intellectual disability level in these individuals varies between mild to moderate, with many of them reaching key milestones later on in life, as long as they have a good support group and educational plan, guiding them along the way. So, the causes of Down syndrome. As we discussed before, all persons with Down syndrome in some form or another have an extra part or full 21st chromosome. Unfortunately, we do not know the cause for this extra full or partial chromosome. Maternal age has been the only known link to individuals born with Down syndrome, although 80% of these cases are born to women under 35. This just being due to higher rates of birth in younger women. The older the woman gets, the higher the chance of having a child born with Down syndrome. I think once you reach the age of 45, this chance gets to 135 compared to the 1 in 700 with younger women. There's no definite research that shows a parent's activities before or during pregnancy will lead to increased chances of a child being born with Down syndrome. And the 21st chromosome can come from either the father or mother. However, only 5% of the cases have been linked back to the father. So let's get into some facts here. So there's 3 types of Down syndrome, with trisomy being the most common at 95% of all cases. And that's just the full extra third 21st chromosome. So life expectancy back in 1983 was just at 25 years of age. And with research and everything else, this has climbed to 60 years of age in individuals with Down syndrome. The doctor who first categorized this was John Langdon Down. That's where the name Down syndrome comes from. And many adults with Down syndrome actually go on to lead normal lives. They hold jobs, they'll live independently, get married, enjoy community events and community integration. Just a great part of the community. So some characteristics and symptoms. You're going to have poor muscle tone. They'll have a shorter neck, which can cause an excess of skin buildup on the back of the neck. Flattened facial appearance and features. They're going to have a smaller shaped head, ears and mouth. There will be a single deep crease across the palm of the hand. Physical development in these individuals is often slower than typical children without Down syndrome. This just comes from the poor muscle development, and this can lead to delays in rolling, crawling, walking, especially in young children. And despite all of this, many of the children with Down syndrome will go on and accomplish many of these milestones. Just might be a little later. So some special considerations to keep in mind for fitness. You want to encourage these individuals. And when they're young, encourage traditional games. Your tag, your hide and seek, Foursquare, anything that can get them out and moving. That's going to encourage, their movement, skill development, especially in the younger children. Make sure you're choosing and encouraging your child to participate in activities they enjoy doing. So if they don't like doing something, find what they do like. This is going to make it easier for them to fit in and ultimately live the life of fitness. You want to involve the whole family in outdoor activities and social inclusion. So this is a team game. Everyone needs to be involved. Encourage community integration through sports and after-school activities. Riding bikes, going on hikes, soccer, basketball. Any of these are great for individuals with Down syndrome. You want to kind of stay away from contact sports. It can just lead to many, many issues, especially since some individuals with Down syndrome do have the unstable top two vertebrae. And yeah, they just need tons and tons of positive reinforcement, and then just keep, encouraging. So the first activity, in your own words, I would like you to describe person first language. And what are some good examples and some bad examples of person first language when it comes to describing somebody with Down syndrome? Some common myths. It's my favorite one. So people with Down syndrome are always happy. These individuals experience a full range of emotions just like anyone else would. They often respond well to acts of kindness, friendship, but on the flip side of that, they can also feel hurt and let down if people are inconsiderate towards them. I actually work one-on-one with, adults with Down syndrome, and normally happy, all the time, pretty much happy all the time. But we did end up going to the Night to Shine. That's Tim Tebow's prom night experience. So everybody with disabilities was welcome to come out, and we held a prom at the Church of the Nazarene. And that was the first time I think I ran into Matt, the kid I work with, actually feeling sad and down. His longtime girlfriend didn't show up. So that was definitely a new experience for me, having to deal with that. But other than that, he's normally, happy-go-lucky. Adults with Down syndrome are unemployable. The truth behind this, many adults with Down syndrome hold jobs in a variety of fields, including, the sports fields, entertainment, banking, small offices, and many others to go along with that. They bring enthusiasm, reliability to the working environment, and they just overall create a positive atmosphere. Down syndrome is a rare genetic condition. Truth with this is it's the most common genetic condition. 1 in 700 live births result in a child with Down syndrome. This results in roughly 6,000 per year. Many people with Down syndrome will plateau. That's the next myth. The truth is, learning is a lifelong journey for everybody, and this includes individuals with Down syndrome. The thought of a plateau or decline in development generally correlates with not having the educational needs of the individual met. Unfortunately, these individuals, I want to say, are removed from the public school system around the age of 23. I think their 23rd birthday. And many don't go on to continue this education or get jobs. And that's just, you know, you don't want to see that. There are many, many, many resources out there to keep individuals with Down syndrome involved, get them jobs, and just community integration, social interactions, huge for their development. So activity 2. What would be some great physical activities a person with Down syndrome could participate in, whether it's sports, fitness, physical education? Just what are your guys' thoughts? Some added risks with Down syndrome. Normally these occur around birth or shortly after, but they can experience hearing loss, the sleep apnea due to these smaller trachea, nasal cavities, all of that. Ear infections are common. Eye disease, such as cataracts. Heart defects at birth. Thyroid disease, which often leads to weight gain and obesity. And then hip dislocations at birth. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something.